$100 million.
It's wild.
With nothing.
Mr. President.
And he's the one that's the fraud, because he said a house that's worth $1 billion or more is worth $18 million. Everyone's trying to figure it out. You know, you buy a piece of land.
As Donald Trump explained in his call to Gregg Kelly, the interview went disastrously. You could see Gregg Kelly attempting to conclude the interview, but Trump continued his lengthy tirade. In this conversation, Trump criticizes the jury in the Manhattan criminal case, where he has been convicted as a felon. Trump remarked that he never saw a hint of a smile from the jury, which will significantly impact his sentencing. I will show you the clip and elaborate on the potential outcomes.
There's no way. You heard me say long before the verdict that Mother Teresa couldn't get a fair trial here. I said that. And no, you couldn't. I never saw a glimmer of a smile from the jury. No, this was a venue that was very unfair. It's a tiny fraction of the people are Republicans. And it's very unfair. And then we had a judge who was very unfair.
Earlier, Trump requested that Justice Morrow, who oversaw the case, lift the gag order since the trial has ended. One term of the gag order was to prevent Trump from criticizing the jury, which he just violated. Trump's attacks on the jury will definitely influence Justice Morrow's sentencing on July 11th, considering the defendant's conduct post-conviction. Trump is undoubtedly worsening his situation, and the district attorney will likely argue that Trump should not be permitted to incite violence against the jury. In the same interview, Trump defamed E. Jean Carroll, calling her story absurd and claiming he never met her, which is yet another instance of defamation. Trump alleges a conspiracy against him, and my sources suggest Carroll is close to filing another defamation lawsuit. Her lawyers have implied this publicly. I expect this to happen soon.
So badly hurting the state of New York, what he's done. But I had it done with two other judges, Judge Engoron and Judge Kaplan. And this is a cabal. This is a terrible thing that's happening. Giving a woman that I have no idea. You know that case, no idea. Other than the fact that she had a picture taken many, many years ago. I've never met this woman. I don't know this woman. And I'm supposed to pay a ridiculous amount of money for a fictional story. And Judge Engoron, I built a great company. The company turned out to be much better than anybody ever thought. And he fined me almost $500 million.
He then attacks Nikki Haley, calling her spineless for supporting him, despite previously stating America wouldn't vote for a convicted felon. Trump's interview included these personal attacks, reinforcing his pattern of defamatory and inflammatory remarks.
I'm going to hold it. As far as Nikki's concerned, I was very disappointed in her because she stayed too long. And remember, I beat her in her own state. I beat her very badly everywhere. You know, I set records in the primaries. People don't, want to talk about it, but if it was somebody else other than me, they'd say, wow, what a job. We won every primary in a record. We beat her in her state, South Carolina, where she was governor, by record numbers. If you look at the kind of numbers we got, they're incredible. And you're right. Some people would be very disappointed if I chose her, and possibly some people would be, fine. But I beat her by a lot. I mean, she was the last one in, but that doesn't mean she did the best job outside of me.
Just a reminder, here's what Nikki Haley previously said about Donald Trump. It's worth playing this clip now.
I will also tell you, there is no way that the American people are going to vote for a convicted criminal. They're not.
Then Donald Trump goes on a meandering rant saying, well, wouldn't it be terrible to throw a president's wife and a former Secretary of State into jail? That's your whole thing. You talked about doing it. You tried to lock up Hillary Clinton. Here we are in 2024, and while President Biden is addressing real issues like bringing the semiconductor industry here, protecting veterans, safeguarding Social Security, lowering healthcare costs, and overseeing 40,000 infrastructure projects, and I can go on, including protecting women's reproductive rights, you're out here whining about Hillary Clinton. Play this clip of Donald Trump whining about Hillary Clinton.
And I said, wouldn't it really be bad, with like, as an example, Hillary, with the hammering of her cell phones and all of the things she did, but wouldn't it be terrible to throw the president's wife and the former Secretary of State, think of it, the former Secretary of State, but the president's wife into jail? Wouldn't that be a terrible thing? But they want to do it. So, it's a terrible, terrible path that they're leading us to. And it's very possible that it's going to happen to them.
Then Donald Trump says he hopes the appeal will proceed very quickly. Will it? Your sentencing is next month on July 11th.
You know, I think that's going to be one of the major points in appeal, and hopefully the appeal will go quickly because they're interfering with the election. If it doesn't go quickly, they're really interfering with the election.
Moving on, Donald Trump claims that President Biden's executive order to secure the border is somehow an attack on him. He says it's a hit job. Yet Trump killed a bipartisan bill led by one of the most conservative senators, James Lankford. This bill was the strongest immigration legislation and had bipartisan support, but Trump blocked it. Now he calls Biden's executive order a hit job, showing how irrational and deranged he has become.
Time ago, or just left in place your executive orders. What do you think of what he did today?
Well, first of all, it's a nothing what that he did, and allowing massive numbers of people still to come in. And it's just misinformation, disinformation, and just another hit job.
Gregg Kelly ends the interview by expressing his admiration for Trump, saying how much he loves him.
That was pretty cool, huh? Love talking to him. Hey, I love the guy. What can I tell you? And I'm upfront about it. I can't believe that so many people pretend they're neutral on this contest, on this race, yet lean one way or the other, right? You see it all the time.
Play this clip where Kelly says, "I'm a huge fan of Donald Trump. I like his policies, his style, even his tweets.
And I'm a huge fan of Donald Trump. I like the policies. I like the style. I even like the tweets."
Can you get more pathetic than Gregg Kelly and this right-wing propaganda media? They have no shame. To summarize, Donald Trump violated the gag order, further defamed E. Jean Carroll, alienated moderate Republicans and independents by attacking Nikki Haley, and claimed that President Biden's efforts to secure the border are a personal attack on him. This interview showcases Trump at his most unhinged and deranged. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks for your support.